Hello, this is your RPG Archivist. Well, I just totally said that wrong. I don't care. Anyway, so this is your RPG Archivist with another painting video. I went to the store a couple weeks ago, and then it got frosty cold, and you'd think that would be the optimal time to start painting, but no, I ended up not. But I figured, I really need to get around to painting this guy here. Is he in camera? Yeah, there he is. So, but before I start, let me show you what I did get. Got a soul cannon for the Reaper Warlord line. And Minotaurs. I love a good pun, and that's a good pun. These are tiny Minotaurs, which I find amusing. And then, of course, I thought I had more white primer brush on, and I did not, so I've got a little bit of that as well. And some new brushes. Cheap ones, obviously. So, not really an unboxing. It's just me showing off again. I also have something I've ordered that I will probably make an entire video on, maybe even a series. You'll see it after a bit. So, what are we going to do? I decided it's time I started using paints from my Bones and my Master Series. Those big boxes I've already done videos on. This is from the Master Series. This one is from the Bones. The thing is, I chose these colors more than a couple of weeks ago, and I don't remember why I wanted this one. I was going to use all cool colors, probably for that potion bottle on his side there, most likely. So there we go. And of course, I've got my favorite sample color that was given to me. I'm probably going to incorporate that. So I have a ton of colors to choose from. I do like a lot of painters, and I choose a bunch of colors, and I may or may not use all of them. More often than not, I don't use all of them. But I figured these are all colors that I would probably use. No oil. Yeah, that's kind of handy to have. And let's see, ones that I'm most likely to use. Night Sky. This is a pro paint from Reaper from the old line. Ice Blue. Of course, Dragon White. White Leather. Armor Gray. Granite. I like the granite. It has a kind of a pale, almost blue kind of look to it. At least I think it does. It has a cool gray color. Let's go into the crazier ones. Light blue. I thought I painted a ring around that one. I don't know. And for some reason I still have my lavender. Oh, I remember why I was going to use those. Anyway, those are just a few examples of all the colors that I've pulled out, thinking I may or may not use them. I also got this old Pro Paint Blue Steel out, but it's one of their old metallics, and they have a tendency to clump up and meld together, and more likely than not, I will probably end up pulling the little skull out of this one and throwing this one away, because I don't think that's reconstitutable. But it's only a 10-year-old paint bottle. Anyway, I will be back in a little bit to start on this guy. Before we get started on the main event, I thought I'd have us do a little treat here. Remember these little guys? Huh? Yeah. Well, I thought These have been in this thinning solution for some time. It's not proper paint thinner, but I thought I'd pull out some of these skulls, little Reaper skulls, and let them just sit here. Oh, there's only 2 in there? Huh. There sure are. Yep, there's only 2 in there. Thought there was 3 or 4. Here, get my little hemostat out. See him? Is it blurry on you? Is it getting blurry? Probably is. Nah, not very good lighting. Not a very good camera, frankly. Now, this is not going to reconstitute, unfortunately. Oh, open. Hang on. Okay. Look at this. Solid. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. So what I've done, I'll put this little here. I'm going to drop this into here. And I'm going to take this and pull this out. Ooh, get out, get out, get out, get out. Make sure I don't have... There we go. Look at this color. Isn't that neat? I don't know if it really looks good on camera, but I love the weird colors. Okay, so why did we pull that out? Because inside of this is one of these. Boop. Boop. And for that, I'm gonna need my hobby knife. And like a surgeon, I'm gonna cut around trying to find that little bugger. He's in there somewhere. This may take some time. So what I'm going to do is stop the video. There he is. There he is right there. Ah. That took me a while. I usually find these like really quick. You know, he's not that messed up. I may just put him directly into the container where I keep the other skulls. Yeah, I think I will. See, doesn't look that bad. Yeah, it goes into here. But look at this mess I made. Normally I find them a lot faster. Let's see, how many have I got in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 skulls. Hey, there's a Dungeon Crawl Classics adventure called 13 Skulls. Or is it the 13th skull? Don't know. Don't remember. I might have it. You know, I really need to start archiving again. Anyway, let me clean up this mess real quick. Okay, I am back. Got RP Games streaming in the corner. Got the volume turned down. RP Games is another person you might want to check out. He likes to do, well, role-playing games, but not the tabletop like I usually do. Usually. So, Warren. Let's get started. I'll scooch all these over. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think this time I'm going to scooch all the paints over to this side. And as I use them, I will put them on this side so I know exactly, put that over here, so I know exactly which ones. Something I wanted to check out. Look at this. Phosphorus, glow in the dark. Glow in the dark paint. I'm thinking I might try to use some of this craft paint on this guy. I'm thinking about it. I'd like to test that out. Don't know. Anywho, I've already got my bowls of water. I got my wet palette. Nice. All that's left is to start putting colors down. Tell you what, I'm going to stop the recording and be back in uno momento. Isn't it weird how when you try to do something, you suddenly become the most popular person in the world? Anyway, check this out. This is my palette thus far. We've got Pro Paint Night Sky. That's the old Reaper brand. I'm using a lot of the old paints. As you can see, I got way too much. I had a little accident, but oh well. I got that sample color from the MSP line that they had sent me. That's this one right here. I've got Woodland Brown from Pro Paint. That's just right there. I have Dragon White. That one was really pasty, but this wet palette's probably going to reconstitute it pretty good, so I'm not too worried about it. I've got two ivories. The darker ivory is the Pro Paint. That's that one there. And the lighter ivory is the Vallejo model color. And that is this one here. And finally, I've got the Fair Maiden for this flesh tone. I'm actually probably going to mix that with some brown or something, because Fair Maiden is a little too fair. Now, let's face it, flesh tones never look right until you mix them with another color. At least that's been my experience. Anywho, I guess I could just start painting. These are not all the colors I'm going to use. I'm going to be using other colors too, just so you know. How good is this going to come out? What will I use? I don't have my favorite brush. My favorite brush is missing. Yeah, I don't need it. I'll use this smaller one, which is really too small for what I need. You know what? Let's just start painting. I'm going to go ahead and get that little bit of flesh right in the face there. I'm going to do this. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. Okay, a lot more of this. Still a little light for my taste, but a little dark rather, but you know, his face is kind of in shadow anyway. Maybe I could get away with being it a little bit lighter, because I am going to use the Null oil over his face, because that is an easy way to get some facial highlights. Too much paint. Oh, this is awkward. I'm sitting here with my camera right here. You know, since I'm doing this first, I don't really have to be real persnickety with it. I can just slap it in there. So I'm just going to paint over the scarf and all that other stuff anyway. All I really need to worry about is keeping the paint from clumping. Because we don't want it to clump up on his face. practically wiped off all the paint while doing it too, didn't I? Here, this is what I'll do. I'll make it a little bit less. I think that was a fail. It's not a major thing. Man, look at that. Too light, either too dark, too light, and too everything. Alright. 3's a charm. And that, my friends, is good enough. Yep, good enough. Sometimes you just gotta know when to say to hell with it. Alright. Now, the next part, I think I'm gonna get a bigger brush. Because I'm not looking to, let's see. What size brush should I use? Oh, there's my favorite brush. It's really old, battered. It's well worn. I need a new one like this. It's my favorite brush, but it's, you know what? I think it might be time for one of these. Yeah. Alright. I got the number 3 brush out of that package. It's probably a little bigger than I actually need, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to take a little bit of the sample color that Reaper was kind enough to provide me. Okay. What I'm going to do with the sample color is just basically try to get all the cloth stuff. And again, if I'm a little, it's not going to matter if I'm a little bit over, because that stuff's going to get painted over anyway. You know, honestly, I could probably get away with just slapping it all on and then going from there, but then I'll probably miss some of the highlights, some of the things that that my little dry brushing of white pulled up for me. This may take a while, so I'm going to talk about my figure, my character rather, Warren. So what's up with Warren? Well, he is a warlock from 5th edition. And I do like warlocks. They are not the most powerful spellcasters, but boy, the utility. Oh yeah, they're fun. Warlocks are fun. He is Pact of the Blade, which should be obvious because of the big sword he's carrying. It's not exactly what I had in mind for what I wanted his sword to look like, but that was the closest I could get. The most interesting thing about a warlock is their patron, though. From what I understand, most people don't put a lot of thought into their patron. They say, oh, demon patron, yeah, or, you know, eldritch god, or, you know, whatever. I like to give my patrons a little, what's the word, personality. I like to make my own up. For example, my first warlock, he thought his patron was Gnarletheltep from the Call of Cthulhu. But I made enough misinformation for what he thought he knew that it might not necessarily be who he thinks it is, which worked fine. Because I'm of a theory of, I think magic should be mysterious, you know? Magic should be like, you think you know everything, but you don't. And the wizards in D&D have made it into, they've made it into a science when it really should be an art. So, there's going to be a lot of superstition, a lot of misinformation, a lot of suspicion, frankly. It's one of the things I find interesting about D&D. You have these crazy, super educated brainiacs walking around, slinging fireballs everywhere, and nobody thinks much of it. You walk into town, and you got these rough and tumble guys that have just killed a horde of goblins by themselves, and nobody's like, maybe we should avoid these people. It's very funny to me. Very strange also. Let's see, I want to do the night blue on that top part, I think. Do I dare use this really thick brush to get to that? You know what? No. I am going to grab this finer brush, this numero uno. Yeah. Ooh, get over here. Numero uno. Yeah, there is a problem with his scarf. It's not covering his nose. And you know what? When he's with his party, he's not social distancing either. For shame. For shame. What am I going to do with the gloves? I think I may end up going gray. Should have went ahead and took care of that with the gray. Is there anything else I want to do with this color? Of course, this is all base coating. That's all this is. Alright, I got sidetracked. I was telling you about my character, and I started focusing on the actual paint job instead of talking. Maybe I should do, like, voiceover. I wonder if I get away with that. Yeah, but I can't turn the sound off on this. No. So, I was going to tell you about his patron. Archfey patron. I thought I'd do something weird. See, I have a very loose definition of what a fae is. It's from watching too much anime, I think. Talking Princess Mononoke type stuff. And if anybody who saw that amazing movie, I love that movie, by the way, you know that the wolves, they talked. And I was thinking something along the lines of Fenris. Not the Fenris. A very loose interpretation of Fenris. And I know some people are going to go, Fenrir, it's Fenrir. I was like, yeah, I'm going to say Fenris. I like Fenris. I like the sound of it. And since this is the exact same creature, If anything, it's closer to one of his sons, or her sons. Is Fenrir a boy wolf or a girl wolf? I don't know. One of you pagans could tell me in the comments. So, this patron of his, Fenris, ooh, I missed some spots with my blue, with my other blue. I have to get those. He is after the moon, because the moon is hoarding magic that Fenris wants. In fact, he already has a glowstone, and I've decided the glowstone that my character has is going to be, at least he believes, a piece of the moon. Yeah, I know, you're like, that's silly. But no, why not? Why wouldn't he think it's a piece of the moon? He hasn't been told it wasn't. Well, some of you probably will. It does glow. So yeah, Fenris is after the magic of the moon, and somehow this guy is supposed to help with that. And the weapon that Warren, I don't know if I mentioned his name, that's my character's name is Warren. The weapon that he uses is called the Fang of Fenris. So yeah, he's using the Fang of Fenris, and that's why I've got the ivory out. First, before we mess with that, so the Fang of Fenris, it's effectively one of the teeth of Fenris. Or at least that's what my character believes. See how that works? See, you gotta leave a little wiggle room for your game master. I don't want to do anything. I don't like to do absolutes, especially with big things like that. It is the Fenris. It is the Fang of Fenris. It is a piece of the moon. I like to leave a little wiggle room, a little doubt. Just suffice it to say that my character believes these things to be true. And if he believes it, that's just as important as if it was true. Because what he believes is what's going to motivate him. Even if it's not true. Nice. Remember, this is all base coating. I think I will go ahead and work on that sword. That thwart. The Fang of Fenris. What did I do with that? What did I do with that other brush I was using? Here it is. Now the base coat for the Fang, it's gonna go straight brown, but no. Let's go with this color. The one that I used for his face. Only the darker part of it. We're gonna start with that. And maybe I'll add a little bit of the may have made a mistake there. Maybe not. There we go. There we go. Alright. What I am attempting is to make this look kind of like enamel. And I want to start kind of dark. Work my way up. That's the theory anyway. FYI, this sword, Hero Forge, this is from Hero Forge. If anybody's familiar with Hero Forge, I know I'm a big Reaper fanboy, but let's face it, you could get a more exact representation of your figure by going to Hero Forge. And I have a good friend of mine, our dungeon master, who spoils us tremendously. And he was kind enough to let me design my character, and he printed it out. Very nice. But anyway, what I was getting at is the sword he's using in Hero Forge, it's called a crystal sword. Which I could think of a character or two that would use a crystal sword. Am I still in focus? Am I still in? Remember, this is a very awkward position for me to paint in, because I'm using my phone camera here. I have a feeling I'd be slapping some Knoll oil on that. Very nice. Alright. You know, if I was going to slap Knoll oil on it anyway, might as well just use the ivory, right? Sweet. Alright, there is some of my base coats. I need to move on to some other colors, though. Tell you what, you get an idea of where I'm going with this. I'm going to skip over, and I'll pick up later on in the paint job so I don't get too terribly boring. Alright, this is my base coat. So I take a different approach. I know you've probably seen professional painters. They'll paint one thing 100% completely. Like, they'll paint this cape, all of it, before they paint anything else. All the cape, the whole cape, nothing but the cape, just the cape. Or just the sword, or whatever. They'll do it 100%. I'm a little different. I learned by putting on a base coat. And, there we go. Maybe it's less blurry. And then going over the rest of the figure. I got some new colors. You can't tell it very well, but that is a purple. It's got it on my palette here. It is literally purple. Not like purple worm purple. It's purple. And this is one of those Horizon paints from way back in the day. Also threw in a little bit of light blue. And here's my first new color. Pale violet red. And you can see it's right on my palette here. I had to put a couple of coats on there of that. I wanted that little shock of color right here on the potion bottle. And you can't really tell it, but I got a little crisscross of leather across there. So yeah, these are all the base coats. And I think I'm going to take a break from this and then come back to it later. Hello again all. A little bit of time has passed since I started this project. Guys, one of the bad things about having a bunch of hobbies, well, the good thing is you're never bored. The bad thing is you never seem to finish anything. Well, I'm back to this guy. These are the colors I've used so far. Colors I haven't. Let me take a look. I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have used this for this, because the other color I was thinking I was going to use was this one. And now, I think I'm going to do white instead. Will give me that frosty look I'm thinking I'm going to pull off on this guy. I don't know. So all this is base coated. And, you know what? It's been a week. Let's look at this palette. Oh, let's see. This is going to look horrible, I'll bet. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I waited too long. I don't know. Yeah, there's still some moisture in some of it, but yeah, I'm definitely going to have to start over a bit. For one thing, I need to add more water. I got one of these things. Oh, well. That's what I get for waiting. Put that up on the side. It's my own fault. I know. This is not going to reconstitute most of this paint, so I'm effectively starting over, really. And you know what? Why not start over? I'm going to see if I could find a piece of paper, one of these pieces of paper, and literally start over. I'm going to pull this out and start fresh. There we go, guys. Fresh new palette. You can see a little bit of color that bled through the last piece of paper. Again, my own fault probably for letting it sit for so long. So I was going over my figure. And you know what? If I were to just paint this edge black and maybe lighten up this sword a little bit, I'd say he would be good enough. But we're going to add a little bit of extra because, let's face it, it doesn't look great. It looks okay. And okay isn't good or great. But yeah, I'm not picky, but I'm not that enthused about the paint job so far. I did notice I got a little bitty dot right here that I need to touch up. And I don't know, maybe a little bit on his face, maybe? I don't think that's noticeable, but nah, better leave it, because sometimes I get little details and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should fix that, and I just make it worse. I'm going to leave that alone. But this part, this little corner here, I'm going to fix. So I'm going to touch that up real quick. There he goes, nice and touched up. Now I'm using my first new color, Natural Steel, by Model Color. I really like Model Colors. I think they're also Vallejo colors. So, yeah. Anywho. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get over these little armor plates on them. I'm not sure. I think my character uses... Oh, I forgot what armor he uses, but I'm pretty sure this is more armor than he actually uses, but who cares? Anyway, should I do this on camera? I could do a little bit on camera. I got a separate little jar, separate little brush cleaner, water off to the side for my metallics. Let's see, I can't add it. This little shoulder pad here. Yeah, there we go. Bum, 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 bum. I know it looks gray, but yeah, this is a metallic. This is a metallic. And it'll show, especially after I add the little highlights I intend to put on it. See? I'm going to do the rest of the little armor bits off camera. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, that didn't make much difference. It's almost the same color as the outfit he's wearing. You do see the slight sheen though, don't you? That's only the beginning. Next, I'm going to get a hold of, which one is it? Yeah, this one. Some old Horizon silver. This is some of the brightest silver I've got. I've got other silvers, but this old Horizon has been my favorite for a while. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit on my palette. I'm going to brush a little bit on there. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. Okay. So this paint's still a little bit wet, but I don't think it's going to hurt much. Get a little bit of this off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape a little bit on the edges here. It's not a very good angle for you to actually see what I'm doing. See if I can get this here. There we go. Alright. Oop, if I want to get that top better. Yeah. See what I'm doing there? Try not to cover the entire thing with silver there. I want to get those deep parts in. Leave the deep parts kind of dark. So, do a little depth there. And I'm going to do the rest of the figure and the rest of the silver. Alright, I decided to go ahead and finish this project. This is taking too long, frankly. I wanted to get this guy done, and things have come up, and I have to get him done, like, as soon as I could. Look at that. I really need to get a better camera. Anyway, we have him completed. I just need to slap a sealer on him. I wanted to give you all like a comparison to what I've done recently. And whoop. You know how I feel about the snow effect I did on this person. I already forgot the name of this figure. Compare the cape. Now this is closer to what we wanted, but I still like this, so the absolute crazy contrast. So what is it, the flaws here? Well, there's a few, but The biggest one is that. If I had stuck with the light blue that I had originally done, um, it would have been okay, but it kind of clashes with the rest of the color scheme. The purple's okay, the red's okay, but then you go into the green-yellow spectrum, and it doesn't quite work. But you know what? It's not so egregious that I'm going to paint over them or strip the paint or anything. I think it looks alright. But yeah, you want to try and keep an overall color scheme on your figure when you're painting them, or her. Now you might notice the sword is a lighter color now. I went over it with this lighter ivory color. So now he has his blade, the Fang of Fenris. He's got the Fang of Fenris, and so basically whenever he summons his blade, because he's a Blade Pact Warlock, when he summons his blade, it looks like it's made of enamel, like a tooth. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but this is Hero Forge, and you'll get a better equivalent to what you intend on Hero Forge, but it'll never be exact. You'd have to sculpt your own miniature to get it exact. So I'm happy with that. And this sword, if you're wondering, is actually supposed to be crystal. On Hero Forge, that's a crystal sword. And I intend to use that at some point in the future. I have some ideas. I'd had plans to talk about maybe creating a new spell for this guy. But you know what? This video's already gone too long. And I don't know if you even care about that. So maybe I'll make that a separate video. Maybe I won't. Until next time, this has been your RPG Archivist, and see ya.